Hey, what's up guys? It's Rick with the Digital Divide. Today's recipe is going to be Baja citrus tacos with some feta cheese. It's one of my favorite dishes to make, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, you're going to start by washing your filthy, disgusting hands. I'm kidding, kind of. Alright, so our main ingredients here are going to be cooked shrimp. I have a pound of medium peeled, deveined shrimp. The tail is still on these though, so we're going to have to remove those. And next you're going to need some shredded lettuce. Mine is more of an Asian kind of mix here. I've got some lettuce, cabbage, carrots, a mix of things, but lettuce itself will be fine. Next you're going to need some fresh Pico de Gallo. I normally make this from scratch, but I'm very sick this week and did not have time, so this is store-bought. Next you're going to need some soft tortilla flour bowls. These are the bowls specifically, not regular taco shells, because they won't be able to hold all the ingredients. Next we're going to need some feta cheese. This is Presidente feta crumbles. They are rather large chunks, so we're going to have to break those down a little bit later. Next you're going to need some distilled white vinegar. And you're also going to need some olive oil. And this is all to make our marinating sauce, which is, as you may have guessed, Baja citrus marinade. And then last but not least, I got some creamy avocado ranch sauce that I'm going to use as a drizzle at the end on top. Alright, so first we're going to start by making our marinade sauce that we're going to use to season the shrimp. So you're going to need 1/4 cup of olive oil to start off with. And next we're going to grab our distilled white vinegar, and we're going to need 2 tablespoons of this. And next we're going to need 2 tablespoons of just water. And lastly, we're going to mix in our Baja citrus marinade mix. And once everything's added together, we're just going to go ahead and stir this around thoroughly. And this is what it should look like in the end. Next, we're going to put a lid on this, and we're going to let it chill out in the fridge for a little bit. And now we're going to break down our feta cheese, because this is going to be we want it to be a crumble that we can sprinkle on top of the taco, but as you can see, this has a bunch of really uneven giant chunks, so we're just going to break this down into more manageable sections. So for that, I've got like a little Ninja mini blender here that I'm going to use. I imagine any old blender will do. And again, this step is optional. If you're fine with having just those giant chunks on your tacos, that's fine, but I prefer to break it down so it's more evenly distributed. Okay, once everything's blended together, this is about the consistency that you should be left with. Next, we're going to start getting the shrimp ready. And by that, we're just going to remove the tails, because these are already deveined and peeled. So the shrimp come semi-frozen in their current state. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some warm water to just warm up the tip of the shrimp a little bit. Once the shrimp has been warmed up over some water, the tail should easily slide right off. And we're just going to go one by one and do this for the entire bag. This process will take some time. And when you're done, you should have a bowl of detailed shrimp. Alright, so now we're ready to mix the shrimp with the marinade and get everything seasoned up. So we're going to go to the fridge and grab our marinade that we made earlier, and we're just going to add that to the shrimp. And then we're going to go ahead and mix everything up. And once everything is mixed up, we're going to go ahead and put a lid on this guy, and you're going to want to marinate it for exactly 30 minutes. I would not recommend marinating seafood longer than that, especially with vinegar, due to the acidity of the vinegar. Next, you're going to grab a large cooking pan, and we're going to cut off a large dollop of butter and let that melt across the pan. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab our seasoned shrimp, and we're going to dump that in. And we're going to let everything cook for a bit. You're going to stir occasionally on medium to high heat. And then after a few minutes, we're going to want to sprinkle a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on the shrimp. We're going to stir a little bit more, and then we're going to cover this up and let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes. And we're going to go ahead and remove the lid and just stir it around a little bit. You should notice that the sauce is starting to bubble up a little bit at the bottom. We're just going to cover this back up and let it cook for another few minutes. And when we remove the lid, the sauce should be almost boiling at this point, so it looks like these are cooked and ready to go. So now we're ready to serve. So go ahead and grab a plate and grab one of the flour tortilla bowls. And then the first thing we're going to add is our greens. So the shredded lettuce or whatever you decide to use. Go ahead and use that as the base at the bottom here. And then next we're going to add our delicious shrimp. After that, we're going to go ahead and add our Pico de Gallo. And then after that, we are going to sprinkle on some feta cheese on the top of the taco. And then lastly, we're going to drizzle this creamy avocado ranch on top to top everything off. And this stuff is delicious. So I usually put a little bit more than I should on top here. And now you are done, and you have some ridiculously delicious Baja citrus shrimp tacos. As always, thank you for watching, and if you guys end up making this on your own, let me know how it turned out in the comments below.